I want to show this real quick
Yeah.
before
Okay, coin. Let me see.
before I drop it. So as y'all were talking, like I marked something that I did earlier, and I think it ties into this really well. I think there's a lot of confluence to this whole conversation over the last few hours, even before half of you joined in and were saying
Hmm.
things in a very accurate way, but in a very different way than which I say them. But they're the same thing, and that's exactly what Ash was talking about. It's like it's subjective, but I would argue that it's not all subjective. I would just say that it's relative into the way in which you see things and
Mhm.
what you need to see in order to trade in the way in which you trade, right? So we talked about origin levels and we talked about low time frames and high time frames and so on and so forth. And I think this is like a good little spot to kind of look at it. And I marked something roughly like this earlier. It may have been on a different time frame, but so we have these two little moves, right? We came down, we moved across here and ranged for a little bit, and we dumped down, tested the bottom of that, and we're fighting that all the way across. So we got this one down here as well, right? And I didn't go down further because
Mhm.
I feel that this is just a sweep on a lower time frame. So if I go down to 1 minute and look at this same thing, it's much more complex. There's a lot more things happening in here, but it's essentially still
Hmm.
the same thing. Now,
Yeah, like
look what
whatever I'm applying on the
happens.
high time frame. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the same thing, and you can see
it's
a lot of
exactly the
this
same thing.
stuff. You know what I mean? You can see a lot of it on one time frame. You can see multiple time frames away, and now look at we're in a 1 hour, so now it's a much more minute amount of information. But look where they're all like closing below there, right, and above there. Now go to the 4 hour, and then go to the 12. Now look like, and then the daily is just like it's like it's nothing, right? It's inside this one bar.
Mm.
So all these things, there are like these points that are really important, right? And that they will always hold a significant amount of weight. But it's like
Hmm.
how the amount of weight you need from a level or a rule, quote unquote, is going to be very dependent upon if you're a position trader, a swing,
Yeah.
a scalper, if you use the second time frames, the 1 hour, the daily, if your leverage is 100x or 1 or 2x, you know what I mean? Those are all going to change. So this is why I've always had a big problem, and Ash knows this. This is how our friendship began, was because of others, saying what he talked about earlier about his method, even though like he was a far superior trader than this person, and them kind of just crapping on him for his method because of their ideology they had for trading, right? What they thought was the absolute correct thing, where there's no absolute correct thing. I don't want anybody to listen to me or anybody else and think in absolutes. Now I do think that you should learn from a source and learn it well, and then branch out and then learn and
Hmm.
then take things from that make sense for you, that fit your style, and adopt them and pull them in to the style that you learned, and then discard the things that don't make sense for you, and then you build on that and you branch out. And that was always what Queen and I always talked about, when we started trading with friends, is that we wanted a place where people could come with multiple methodologies, trading styles, ideas, and be able to talk about them and not get shat on because of it. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody thinks that they know the right way or the wrong way. Things went askew for a bit, but we're working hard to get things back on track, and I feel that they've made a significant amount of progress in that direction. At least I hope they have. You know what I mean? So I just, I thought that was important to kind of point out, because it's many points that I've been trying to illustrate for a long time, and sometimes it's like talking to a brick wall with some people, and then there's the other people that are very receptive. You know what I mean? And those are, from my experience, the people that are here in a year or two down the road. You know. So don't get stuck into an ideology is I guess my point, because none of us are right or wrong. We're We can only
Yeah.
ever be right for ourselves, our styles, and our expectations, and the way in which we train.
Mm.
So I think it's really, really important.